Mythic Squad, the People's Guild. Our passion for making monsters can't be killed. We breed the best pets, learn a lot, no regrets. Join us in creating excellence. Earth along our back, Mythic Squad on the chest. It's the Mythic Squad. It's Mythic Squad. It's time. We've been away for a while, and through it all, we've been bullish the whole time. Welcome back, Ogre.
What's up? How's everybody doing? I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. I know mine was great. Any fun stories to share, Starbuck?
So this tree fell, Ogre. I'd like to tell you the tale. So there I was. It wasn't wet out, but it was definitely some dew. No, I'm joking. Yeah. My whole life has been DeFiKingdoms the last couple of weeks. Every single day I'm going around and pulling limbs out of the lake. It is not a fun gig, but it is necessary. And the good news is I got my approval from the state to remove it. So, or from Department of Fish and Game or Department of Ecology, whatever it was. And then we also got our insurance approved. So
Nice.
everything's moving the way we need it to. And yeah, so that's been life. There's been a lot going on. We got a new mini series coming out. Hopefully, I'm hoping next week, starring me and intern. I've got to connect with Dragonfly Tales so that we can get some sound added to it. But it's a pretty fun story. Really looking forward to sharing some of me and Sticks Intern's humor, and looking forward, to having a lot more of those episodes come out. What we're hoping for is potentially one a month, maybe more if there's some interest, but we'll see.
Dude,
How
that
you?
sounds like a
I
blast.
know you just went on the trek as you normally do, or not as you normally do, but you went on the trek to go up north for the winter. How was that?
Yeah, well, my family's from the Northeast, so in the Boston area. So every winter I go back up there, just kind of see the family, get recentered, you know what I mean? And that 17-hour drive is getting longer and longer every year. The drive seems like it gets shorter, but the recovery time afterwards seems to get longer and longer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. Every single place I go, I see the same ladies too. It's been a year of travel. I want to know how many miles. Do you ever check how many miles did you drive last year?
Between 35 and 40,000 miles a year usually.
Jeez. Yeah, I drive. I
It
don't
seems
even drive 10% of what you drive in a year.
like-
The benefit of
Wish.
working at home.
I do work at home. That's the fun part.
Well, I work all over the world. Not just
On the road a bit as well. Yeah, you just got muffled for a moment there.
Oh, really?
Yep, better now.
Ooh.
That kind of sounded muffled.
How's this?
Is that better?
Much better. Much better. Welcome, baby.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Sticks Intern. Sticks Intern. I keep calling Skiller Sticks Intern and Sticks Intern Skiller. Shout out to Skiller for that graphic to open us up. He always throws us, he always sets us up proper.
Yeah.
Excited for the one that we have tonight. As you know, we've got a big boar hunt competition coming for the Mythic Squad. It's our first one like this, where we're collecting jewel up front. Half of that jewel will go to the Mythic Squad, and then the other half will go to the winner of this contest. So super shout out to Skiller. You'll see if hopefully you're on tonight, but if you're not, you'll notice that every single thing that we're going through, Skiller has his hands on. So we were saying recently, there's a lot that the Mythic Squad puts out. It is never just, Starbuck, Mosh, and Beef that are putting it out. We've always got people working in the background. Not everybody likes to be on camera, But everybody does throw in, and everybody does contribute in some way, whether it's with their ideas, whether it's participating in the events, or coming together to figure out what those events could look like. I mean, they're the way that Intern and Sticks Intern, Too Honest, Skiller, and Be Easy, and I think somebody else, they just met up in Mayhem one night, and they just put together something that was really cohesive, and they really thought thoroughly about it. So shout out to the squad. I mean, they're alphas for a reason. The things that they do behind the scenes really do shine through.
Skiller is one of the main ones. Like anything artistic y'all see, 99% chance Skiller made that. So let's be real. There's a lot of love going there, and you see all the creators out there. I don't know. It's fixing to pop off, man. 2024 is going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to it. So what do you think? What were your thoughts on the AMA earlier?
I mean, it was a full AMA. I unfortunately had to drop off before the second half, I believe. But during the AMA, a little secret alpha, this is our alpha stream. We're working on something with DeFiKingdoms, and we got approval today to use one of the designs that we have. So we're excited to show that tonight. And then we've got some special guests from the team coming out over the next couple weeks. So excited. There's just so much going on. During the AMA, I think my biggest takeaway was the plague mask was my biggest one. Also, I mean, I keep a notebook of everything that, like, while I'm working and whatever. And today, if I can't tell if you can see the difference in the color here between the paper. I loaded my notebook and then I lost my AMA notes in the process.
Oh, no. So. Well, I got mine. No worries there. One of the big things
it's Ogre's Alpha and Starbuck just pushes play.
It's all good. One of the big things with the orbital bridge, I don't know if you haven't heard yet, the orbital bridge, which was like Caitlin's main bridge, which is where Sarandale 2.0 lives, right on the Caitlin network. Their main bridge got hacked. What?
Clayton?
Clayton. Is that not what I said?
I thought you said Caitlin. I'm sorry. I must have misheard you.
I might have said it wrong. Clayton. My apologies if I did say it wrong. Anywho, the Clayton Bridge. It got hacked. So they took appropriate action. The biggest takeaway that I had is the team knew what to do, right? It wasn't like a big scramble like it was when Harmony got hacked. Like, what the heck's going on? They actually had remedial actions and teams and processes put in place and reacted, froze stuff. I don't know. I like what I saw. I love the way that they reacted to it, right? Because incidents are going to happen. This is a cutting-edge technology world. It's not so much are they going to happen, because we know they are. It's how the team responds, right? What happens next? So, I don't know. The way they were talking about it and their reaction time very much impressed me. I like that.
Yeah, and they had that great reaction time simply because of experience. They had framed it up with what had happened with originally. There was a Harmony bridge when they were getting onto that, and they had an issue with a hack there, and they really proactively put their funds into, it sounded like DFK chain and Ethereum, if I'm not mistaken. So, that was just a smart play, and for the most part, we weren't affected at all.
Exactly. That's what the sound is, right? I mean, there's no guarantees. It all depends. I mean, if Clayton crashes and burns, that's definitely going to have an effect. But I seriously doubt that's going to happen. There's been plenty of hacks. It's usually just
fate and karma finds these individuals that are doing these hacks and takes care of them. But until then, stay vigilant. Don't just click on random links. I don't know. It's hard to like get around a bridge hack, because that's totally different. I mean, you could be diligent and still get hacked.
Long as there are humans out there, some humans will come after you, right? Like, it's never just going to be a happy society where everybody's full of love and unicorn poop and nobody ever tries to do anything wrong. So you always must remain diligent.
Dr. J's throwing up some spicy bridge hacks are probably inside jobs. Look at that FUD. You don't care.
It seems possible.
Faithful.
It definitely seems like it sometimes. Give him 10 years and they'll find the guy. In the meantime, hopefully you can feed your families.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Shout out to anybody that was affected. Our hearts are with you. If you were affected, jump in the Mythic Squad server so we can get you some Dread Knights. It's the only thing to do. It's like the best thing to do.
Right?
When you're sad about something, a legendary Dread Knight can help your day get better. Truly.
You're right. You're right, sir. Indeed. All right.
All right. Let's get our poop in a group. What was the other thing that happened today? The
crystal emissions are done. Finally, like they wrapped that up. The crystal emissions are officially done. And they had like some algorithms set up so that when it ran out, they had this other fund to kind of rotate through and backfill the reward so that it was still worth having an LP. And then they are building out the next mechanism, right? And he alluded to it. It sounds like it's going to be jeweler contract, kind of like X Crystal used to be, and now you have X Jewel or C Jewel. It sounds like it's going to be something similar to that, but each LP has its own, and you basically just stake your stuff into that. So be aware there will be a time within the next few weeks, potentially, where the old LPs stop producing. So if you're running quests against them or letting your money sit there, it's doing nothing for you. You'll need to move from those old LPs to the new LPs, and then the professions. It will be the same professions. They're just going to point them at the new contract. So, like if you leave a bunch of professions sitting there for the next week and a half or 3 weeks, and in that time they implement the new contracts, when you get those heroes back from that quest, they won't get any rewards because everybody's moved on.
Yeah. Okay. But they did mention that there were some different rewards that are planned, but they didn't go into detail of how those were coming out, right?
Yeah, no, they dropped a little hint about special incentive, and that's part of the reason why they reworked the contracts. I could see it being some sort of like collaboration mechanism in the future where if they collaborate a project, they get a certain amount of their tokens, and they just basically put them in the bucket and run them through the rewards pool for anybody who's in the LPs, essentially. Who knows what that'll look like? There's all sorts of possibilities they could do there.
You know, one thing was, I don't know if I think it's been a while since you've been away. And one of the last things that got brought up on the AMA before the last one, which was just a meet and greet, is they said tailoring was going to be, or crafting was going to be specific to landowners. And another thing that was unique about that was today they had mentioned that tailoring will be able to make visages as well.
Interesting. I missed that.
I got to go back and kind of re-listen to that. I mean, we'll have to count on our audience if that was actually true. But it sounded like you'll be able to make visages if you have tailoring crafting profession, and then obviously there's going to be some caveats for our landowners for that. So,
and just a
plug on the lookout for.
Real quick before I come to that, because there's a lot there. If you haven't watched the DFK AMA and you have the hour, you can even put it at 2x speed, watch it in half an hour. Recommend to definitely go watch the actual AMA itself. This is kind of our rehash and talking back and forth about what was discussed, but to hear them say it's always the best, right? So always recommend DeFiKingdoms YouTube channel. Go check it out. Go check the latest AMA out for yourself. Watch it through and give it that little thumbs up. Make sure you help curate if you can. But yes, they've mentioned that before. I think basically the way they're envisioning it is all that land you see is going to actually be land. They have a giant map, and we'll have little units of heroes out wandering the map and getting into random encounters and stuff like that. And in order to heal or buy new equipment or more food for the next leg of the journey, you got to stop at a town. In that town, you'll have crafters where you'll be able to upgrade or repair your gear, buy the goods you need to carry on, etc. That's my understanding of where they're going with the game. I don't think you'll ever find it in a laid out fashion that way. That's kind of just been listening to AMAs over the years and hearing what they're wanting. But yes, towns are very much going to come into play as little ecosystems and economies of themselves, to where you might take a different route to get from point A to point B because you want to go to a certain town and it's along this path, and the other paths, the towns aren't as good. The crafters aren't there, so you're not going to be able to get your equipment repaired. So you have to take a slightly longer route to hit these other 3 towns along the way and make sure that you're good to go to get to that distant end. I don't know. It'll definitely be interesting to see how it all plays out. But that's my understanding of where it's going. So yes, having some land and being the guild owner there, or like having it run with a guild with some top-notch crafters could definitely come into play big time in the long run.
Man, I can't wait till they release Crystal Vale land. It'd be good to have land on both, or actually everywhere where you can have land, I suppose. And close to the castle, of course.
Well, we're kind of making the assumption that they are two different lands just because we only see certain squares of it. I mean, it could be two opposite ends of the same continent, or like two opposite ends of the opening of a bay, and you can go all the way around through these other 4 lands and get right from one to the other on land without ever having to go on the water.
Yeah. Well,
so many.
What I heard though is land is going to have its part, and we're hearing more and more about how it's going to be integrated over time. It'll become more clear. But for now, it sounds like, it's going to be there. What do you think? Crafting by the end of this year or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely think
by the end of this year, and travel too then?
Pardon?
You think travel by the end of this year then too?
That adds a whole new dynamic. I mean, in reality, what they're doing now with these void hunts, they're testing out the boss battles, right? So in testing out a boss battle, you also test out the functionality of just running into one little mini boar or one small crab or something like that. So that'll be easy to implement on the map. Then it's just RNG, time over distance. Do you have a random encounter and run into one of those little animals and have a little encounter or whatever? Or do you have 5? How hard are they going to make it? Right? Are they going to turn it up to where you guarantee you're going to have at least 3 battles and maybe 1 boss battle or something like that before you get the other end? And if you die, you got to go back to the city you started in, buy more potions and gear, and get ready for the trip again. Like that could happen.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they're ever going to have a perilous journey. No, they said that was a one-time thing, right? You think they'll ever have a perilous journey again for the next one?
I don't know. I would never say that they'll never do it again. It wouldn't be a perilous journey with the same rewards, I don't think. I mean, that was like early on, OG, like true diamond hand people. Could I see them doing something similar in the future, though? Like some other big event like that where it's a journey and there's rewards for sending your heroes versus not sending your heroes. They're just not as significant as they were then. Yeah, I could definitely see them doing some big event like that. I mean, it'd be cool. They could possibly even do some giant hunt that happens quarterly, right? And you got to do your void hunts every day. And if your heroes manage to get to a certain level, kind of like it is with duels, certain number of wins over a certain period of time, they get to the deeper parts of the hunt. And if you make it all the way to the champion, the big boss battle, and defeat it during that season, then you win that hunt to get something special. I mean, there's all sorts of cool stuff. We're definitely. Why are you not? You don't have a ticker running across the bottom. This is definitely reckless speculation at this point.
On there. But yeah, I think a perilous hunt would be cool. Where you die. Your heroes get burnt, and the rewards are just 10x or higher. Who knows?
So that'd be crazy.
There'd be a lot more heroes getting, that's for sure. We just had 100,000 hunts. You wouldn't want to send your good ones.
Like if you actually have a chance of losing your heroes, you're not going to want to send your good heroes. Most likely, if it's like a decent likelihood that you lose them, I'd just send my trash ones, which means it's going to be that much harder to get through it.
Maybe, but maybe you have to send your good ones in case you want to win, or it's just a throwaway. I mean, it seems to me that Hubert has an affinity for complication or things that are more complicated, where you actually got to, not just mindlessly click buttons. You have to have some tact.
There will be that aspect to the game, but I think there will always be the mindless aspect. Everybody's freaking out. Oh, too many heroes. The price is nothing. Like, I think that's a good thing, honestly, because it's different aspects of the game. You're going to have some people that come in and they bought the game, and they might only make a few dollars a day or something like that because the materials have gotten so cheap because there's so many people buying it. But that's cool because those materials get cheaper. It just makes it cheaper for everybody else to play, right? And because for every one awesome hero that somebody's going to actually want to use in PvP or PvE, there's like thousands of other heroes that just suck. They're going to be the farming heroes that are running in bots that are supplying the cheap mats so that we, the gamers, can play the game, right? And they'll help keep the prices down. Like eventually, you're not going to make money on materials unless you're like living in a country where you can live off of a few $100s a month. In which case, yeah, we're going to be like redistributing wealth to those people, so they don't have to work on some dangerous fishing boat. They'll be able to roll in DFK, provide that, and maybe even flip it into some heroes and play and have a good time too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
But there's going to be different aspects and different roles within the game, and a lot of those are going to be strategy. I think that's what he was getting at, that it's not all just going to be bots and grinding. That will be necessary to provide all the mods or the mats, and there will be that aspect of the game, but that's not going to be the game, right? There's a lot more they're building. This is the foundation.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, this is an interesting take. Tavern Tales is saying that he's unsure about the Vizzies because I felt like they take away from people getting to show off their equipment. If you can just turn equipment into Vizzies, then I feel like that takes away from the look of the heroes and equipment. Vizzies are just skins, basically, and I personally thought it was too soon for those. You know, I honestly did too, you know, because we haven't seen any of the equipments. We've seen 3 heroes. I thought it was premature. I mean, who knows? There could have been other things they've been working on in its place, like, I don't know, any number of pages within the Eternal story. But we won't go into that. It's 2024 now.
Too funny. I mean, I'm with you there. If it was, it sounds like they're going to be going hot and heavy on it, where like they've got the plague mask up for a week or something like that, and then they're going to roll right into something else, and maybe that's only going to be a week or 2 weeks. Do I think some Fizzies are cool? Like maybe they're basically OG POAPs, right? I was there when they had the bloaters for sale. They're never going to be on sale again, but I got some, right?
Yeah.
So I can see that being cool, but it being like a once a quarter thing and it lasts for 30 days, not like every week something new. I think if it comes in and it works and we have enough players to actually support it continually, I think it'd be a great source of revenue for the game.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah, and to be fair, I'm just joking about the Eternal pages being a priority. I don't think they should be. I don't think anybody cares at this point. But there's been a ton of pages, literally tons of pages printed, and we've heard it from the very beginning that it was a limited time event to get those pages. And that limited time event of April 2022 is now a year and a half or something, or what, a year and 8 months.
Bro, we're still in beta. I mean, come on. It takes years to build a game, especially when it's complex as this with new technology. Am I frozen?
I get that. Like I'm saying, though, like I just thought that the Eternal pages should be done, like things that we don't even think about. And there should have been way more scarcity to them, like, or scarcity to them. They should have only been out for like a month or 2 months for us to get familiar with the training quest. You know, they had some events around training quest. And then once it was a limited time event that was over, then page 10 comes out.
You have a very valid point. Like if something like that comes out and it sounds like it's going to be short term, like, yeah, no, very valid. I understand why you're salty about that. But again,
it drives your investment.
All of the things. Well, but you know, like all of the hundreds of thousands of things that they said they were going to do and actually succeeded on, it's like you're holding on to that one thing they didn't. It's like, bro, come on.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, well, keep in mind. So imagine you were liking the profession quests and it was important for you to level up your heroes for the profession for whatever reason. But then the devs come out and say, we're going to have a limited time event come out. So you switch your strategy to switch to doing something that you think is going to be here for a limited time. And this is a valid thing because this is what I did. I just wanted to have 1, to 10. I wanted to have at least 2 or 3 copies of all 10 pages, because I was afraid they're going to be gone before I could get to 9.
I think what you're most salty about is the fact that you love lore. And a lot of people love lore, and you thought there was going to be lore associated with those, so you pivoted to get that lore, and it's just been like, no lore.
No, we found the lore. We found the lore already like a year ago. Jack Schools dropped it. So we have page 10. It's in our alphas. We've read it. And I think we've read it on air too. What I'm salty about is like that whole pivot of your strategy, because you think something's going to be gone soon. And at the time it was, it was more expensive to quest and do anything back then. So if you changed your strategy for the training quest, you didn't have to. So if anybody did that, it was just a waste of time. That's all.
Can we sprinkle a little salt on it and move on?
Yeah.
It's turned into a big fest over these stupid fucking pages. Just being real.
Let's see what Maddie thinks. Here, look at that. Tavern Tales agrees. I hope they mint 1 NFT that is page. Why? Come on.
Hell yeah.
But page 11 Here's the funny thing, and Styx intern can corroborate this to me. Page 11 will be out before page 10. That is the alpha of the day, and Styx intern will tell you if that's true or not.
All right.
Here.
Yeah.
So the name of our series that's coming out is 11th Page Lore.
Oh, Jesus.
So we're just going beyond. We are literally moving
like
past
a
page 10.
long, drawn out thing that never ends. It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers just keeping on trying to come back, man. Sometimes you just got to let it go and move on.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you bring up a sore subject for me today.
I brought it up. I didn't talk about the pages. I don't think I talked about the pages. I'm pretty sure you keep bringing that up.
It's just like you said. It's just like you've heard about that story where a teacher writes 1 + 1 = 2, 1 + 2 = 3, 1 + 3 = 5, and then they go through all of it. And then
so moving on.
Class, and they look back at that one thing that the teacher wrote down wrong, and that's the only thing that they recognize. And the teacher makes a point out of it and say, hey, you could do everything right and make one mistake, but the thing that people are going to remember is the one thing you messed up on. And tell me that's not true when people still to this day talk about FUD that wasn't really FUD.
You're the only person I hear talking about the pages. Nobody else cares. Everybody else has let that go. Literally everybody. And you've made the entire stream about these stupid fucking pages.
I'm going to have a support group for us page people. I'm just joking.
All right. So anyways, I've got it queued up. I think this is pretty much a wrap. If y'all want to watch, I'm going to share my screen. And I've got the plague mask all queued up with the geese because I just think it looks frigging dope.
That is filthy.
I don't know how well this battle's going to go, but we're just going to beat on them. A miss to start, right? Isn't that the way it always works?
There you go. Page 10. Yes. PTA. That's what that'll be called. The PTA.
Thanks, Mosh. I'm just now seeing the comments here. He says, let it go. Let it go.
Just so you know.
As long as you hold that hate in your heart and can't let go of it, it drags you down, not me. Let it go. It's better for you.
Yeah.
No, I stayed away from those things. Those are evil. PTA meetings are crazy. I shouldn't say that. There's definitely some good ones, I'm sure.
That's an interesting thing. I don't even know if we have PTA meetings.
Right? One in the DFK? This is my murder squad right here, because to me they look like crow or raven beaks. So when you have like a flock of crows or ravens, it's not called a flock, it's called a murder. So strap these on with the geese and the murder squad.
I hope page 10 comes out and Mosh can't get one. And you, Ogre. I hope it's only out for a day and I don't get one and nobody gets one. No page 10 for anybody. And then we just leak the page 10 we have. You know what? I gotta find it.
Somebody just bots it. They figure out the algorithm so that every time one drops, it's on their quest, so they get all of them. And they let everybody see it except for you, Starbuck.
That would make me salty. I'm not gonna lie to you, Tyrone.
Understandably so. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do the attack. Kill him because the warrior's sweaty anyways. Can't do nothing. Sarge, hell yeah. Page Diaz nuts.
Sarge is who you're talking. So Sarge is who I'm looking for that page 10 from. Sarge, send it to me in Discord if you still have it. I'm gonna flash that everywhere.
I would love to see it. I don't think I've even seen it. Please.
It's written on a scroll. Sarge. Where is it? I think I'm like 5 years back now in messages.
It's forever ago. Yeah, these Raven masks, they look dope. I definitely like this. And if they keep doing this and dropping new ones every week and suck me into buying more and more, I might get upset and bitter. Just because eventually I'm not going to have money to buy them all. I'm going to no! I'm going to miss them. Definitely want to see like a purple gi with the wolf head mask. Already kind of dropped the question on that one. See if we can get that made.
There are so many videos saved on my laptop. It's stupid. All right, I'm not looking for it. Okay.
I'm fine. I'm sure it'll pop up eventually. You said it was in the alpha chat somewhere, yeah?
It is somewhere. I'll find it though. Here we go.
Got it?
No, I'm just saying you're gonna win.
Oh, hell yeah. Almost there.
You know, I'm not very successful at getting the boars to bleed. Are you?
Sometimes I am. It hasn't really popped off much this time.
Yeah, and I feel like when they do bleed, it's like an instant.
Right.
It was originally in our Sergeant Filthy McNasty or Sergeant Filthy Mythic Nasty chat, and it's like way original before we added additional people to it. It was when it was a couple views. Jacksicles.
Got him. All right, everybody. I need those pants. Need those pants.
Come on, pants 5. Think purple pants, baby.
Purple pants. Purple pants, baby, for the squad of my murder squad. Here we go. Come on, purple pantalones. And we got some tears.
Hello.
I'll use those to cry myself to sleep tonight.
Nice win, though. I like that you got that crow mask on them all. Or what's it called? Plague
mask.
Plague mask. Where'd you go? Well, on next week's episode, Ogre will close us out and probably bullish. But Ogre had to leave because as he thought about it, page 10 got more and more important to him. And then he decided, you know what? I'm going to go find page 10. So he jumped off early. And we'll miss you, Ogre. Someday he'll be back. Just kidding. Welcome back, Ogre.
Whoops. Sorry about that. I would have stopped sharing my screen and hit the wrong button.
The worst thing I've done before is on one of our streams, we were playing the Mythic Squad music and I was ending it. And instead of ending the song, I ended the stream and then we didn't come back on. End of day. End of day.
I am busy writing page 10.
I will get it to you very, very soon. I'm surprised I didn't send it to you already, but I will find it and send it to you, as well as all of you.
Something I would love to see more of, though, is lore in the game. More, because there is apparently some lore that's back there. It just needs to be fleshed out. I would love to see it. Oh, Sarge found it.
Here we go. You guys stayed just in time.
Yo,
he's gonna send it to me. I know it.
Please DM it to me on Discords.
I'm staring at my inbox looking for a Sergeant Filthy McNasty message, and I'm sure it's coming.
See, you were so salty you didn't have your page chat anymore, and we as a community came together, rallied. Sarge found it, and here you go. You got your page chat. Can we put this to bed now? No, we cannot.
Like I said, I don't really care about the page because I've seen it. I just wanted it over years ago, literally, at this point. All right, here it comes. Sent it. Scented it. So Jacksicles. Oh no! Come on, bro. All right, here it comes. Here it is. Finally, D. Thornwood. I remember that now. He had a book coming out. A.D. Thornwood. There it is. Thank goodness. I knew it was in here. All right, you guys want to see it?
Let's see it.
Let's see, page 10. Here we go. Shout out to Sarge for sharing page 10 and adding this. So let's go. I can't really read that.
Oh, wow. This is a Twitter post?
So Jacksicles was let go, and then he, when he got let go, he was salty and dropped page 10. So keep in mind, this is not, this potentially could change, but the original author of the lore sent this out, and this was the original page 10. So page 10, the Void Children. Let me put this in the chat too, in case anybody just wants to get it themselves. Copy link.
Heck yeah.
And boom. So y'all should have that in the chat as well.
Okay, it wasn't. Might be a tough one. Sorry.
All right. Before the time of Gaia, the Pantheon's dominion of our realm. What? You want me to read it or no?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, here we go. Before the time of Gaia, the Pantheon's dominion of our realm, there stood the Nameless One and his Void Children. For an unknown amount of time, the wretched, incomprehensible, being ruled our world in absolute darkness, even casting a blanket of shadow upon the blazing sun and the starlight moon. They held Gaia as prisoner, deep within the planet's heart, siphoning off the seed, chrysalis, that encased the goddess to rejuvenate their form and power. When the Pantheons arrived, Cenaria unleashed the power of the sun from its prison, as Ire created the first dragon to aid in combat against the aberrations. Together, they pushed the Void Children into the depths of the planet, with Dion crafting elaborate vaults to imprison them. Deep within the isolated regions of the world, the Void Children still writhe about their blackened hearts yearn for freedom and revenge, crying out to their father who wanders powerless across the now flourishing world. Gaia is no longer restrained by his shackles. Over time, the existence of Void Children has become a distant memory to most of the kingdoms, becoming more legends told about in stories or the topic of superstitious ramblings from the edges of society. However, the older druids who knew their existence to be true worry. The influence of the Void Children have crept back into this world in the form of nightmares and whispers, a sign their prisons have been compromised. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Shout out Sarge. Sorry we went a little extra long. But if you like that, tune in tonight where we read it again.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. It was great edition here. I'm glad you guys joined us. Thank you very much. Bad love, Starbuck, and the rest of the Mythic Squad. DFK family, baby.
Boom. All right. Keep it Mythic, baby. Let's go.
Pull it.